let's talk about the strategies for writing compelling content. Remember, the goal of an article is to make the reader, to inform the reader, yeah, and most of the time to direct them towards an action. The action can either be to buy a product, to share that article, to continue reading, or, of course, anything else that the client wants. Now, to do that, you need to write compelling content. You need to write compelling articles. How do you do that? The first thing you can do is to use what we call storytelling techniques. So these techniques can help you make your content more engaging and memorable. So storytelling involves using a narrative structure to convey information, evoke emotions, and connect with the reader. So here is an example. A personal narrative about how you overcame a challenge in your life can be a powerful way to engage readers and make your content more compelling. Remember also, personal narratives makes you relatable as a writer. Yeah, here are some techniques here are some tips that I provided for you that you can use to implement this, because this is really powerful. Storytelling is really powerful when it comes to being a writer. So I've given you this, so you can find it in the description of this lesson. The other thing you can do is to focus on the reader and their needs. Remember, compelling content focuses on the reader rather than the author's own interest. So you need to forget about yourself and then think about the reader. By understanding your audience and tailoring your content to their needs, you can make it more relevant and engaging. So an example is, if you are writing an article about healthy eating, focus on how the reader can benefit from the information, such as improving their overall health, rather than just providing general nutrition advice. So remember that, focus on the reader and their needs. Forget about what you want as an author. Now you need to create a logical flow of information. So you need to do that, you need to organize your content. This makes it easier for readers to understand and engage with. Now, to do that, it involves structuring your content with clear headings, subheadings, paragraphs, and of course things that build on each other. That's why in previous lesson I showed you how to create the outline, the content outline. That's why you need that content outline. It helps you build this logical flow of information. So for example, if you're writing an article about a complex topic such as cryptocurrency, start with the basics and gradually build up to more advanced concepts with clear headings and subheadings to guide the reader through the content. Another thing you can do to make your content more compelling is to use visuals. So you need to use things like images, charts, and graphs to make your content more engaging and of course easier to understand. So if you're writing about a new product, you need to include high quality images of the product. Remember, when we saw this review, they've included images of the product. The display, they showed us that. The design, they showed us that. So you need to implement that as well. Now, once you've written almost the final step of writing a compelling content is to edit and revise your work. When you review your content, you make changes and improve on things like clarity, tone, and structure. And then this ensures that you meet, or your content meets, the needs of your audience and achieve your goals. So after finishing your first draft of content, you need to take some time to review it for things like spelling and grammar errors. Look at things like clarity, look at things like, okay, am I driving the point correctly? And of course, you need to look at something called the overall coherence. Things like, okay, does this make sense overall? Yeah. And of course, you need to consider getting feedback from others to help identify areas that may need improvement. So what I would suggest is that once you've finished writing that article, give it someone else to read it. Yeah. give it someone else to read it, or wait until tomorrow and then come back to it. Yeah, of course, later on I'll show you some tools that you can use for this to edit your content. But the best editor is someone, you know, who didn't write that article. So it can be your friend, anyone from your family. Give them and tell them to read it loud to you, then you can hear if there is coherence and clarity. Yeah,